I know very little about Kourosh the Great. Most of what I do know about him are things that I've sort of researched for myself over the past 10 years or so.
He was the first Persian king who ruled over what we know of as Iran today over 2,500 years ago. And he is basically a legend in the land of Iran today and for Iranians all throughout the world.
He was just righteous in his heart and on his own. He did not come out of a cave having heard voices. He did not talk to a bush. He did not come down Mount Olympus claiming to be a son of a god or a goddess. He was just an ordinary man, became a king and became an emperor, and he was a good man. And for example, when he defeated Babylonians, he let them live the way they were living, worship the Supreme Being the way they were used to, and he did not ask them to give up their property. He did not take them slaves. He was just a man that wanted injustices removed, and he removed them by asking them, free your slaves. Among those slaves were thousands of Jews, and he not only freed them, he helped them to go back to Jerusalem and build their temple.
Sadly, up through the 20th century, and maybe even today, he was a guy he was a ruler who really cared about his subjects, and that caring nature has been a lacking part of the human civilization, I think, for a large part after that.
حقوق بشر رو بیسش از روی اون چیزایی که کوروش نوشته، صحبتایی که کرده روی اون استوانه کنده کاری کردن با خط میخی، همه چی از اون گرفتن. فکر می‌کنم یکی از بزرگیاش هم از اونجا میاد. الان بهش میگن کوروش بزرگ.
یه ویژنی داشته، یه چیزی رو واقعا میخواسته ببینه. ویژنش یه کشوری بوده، یه امپراتوری بوده که مردم با هم بتونن خوب زندگی بکنن.
He united all the tribes, and I think he like had a revolt. He had the first decree of human rights.
In terms of my reflection, he was a sort of a great leader. He's the one that I think most Iranians are proud of in terms of relating themselves to.
My name is
Kourosh.
Or Americans call me Cyrus.
I'm Kourosh.
کوروش کبیر.
Is that your last name?
کوروش گلشن.
My name has a lot of historical significance for me. Cyrus Kourosh was a really important figure for my father.
Having gone through and learning about him, it's kind of cool to have a namesake that's a pretty great man that stands for a lot of the things that I'd want to stand for in my life. من خیلی پراودم که اسمم کوروشه به خاطر اینکه کوروش هخامنشی اینقدر آدم خوبی بوده.
سعیم برای اینه که اون کوروش واقعی که هر روز صبح بیدار میشم مجسمش جلوی چشمه بتونم تو خودم بیشتر پیدا کنم. خودم رو یه جوری بهش نزدیک کنم، بگم این اسم رو الکی رو من نذاشتن.
The first step for greatness. What would be the first step for greatness?
I think compassion is probably the underlying characteristic that can make somebody great.
اینم یکی از چیزایی بودی که مثلا کوروش اینو رایجش کرده تو مملکت. بعد همش هم بیس روی خوبی بوده. پندار نیک، گفتار نیک، کردار نیک. کار خوب، حرف خوب بزن، خوب بشنو کار خوب بکن میدونی همش روی خوبی بوده حرفی از بدی نمیزده.
His tolerance is what allowed him to respect humanity the way in which he did 2,500 years ago, which was simply unheard of.
I mean, global ambition, like something like that, I couldn't really say, but like taking power in your own life and like creating beauty and like doing great things, I mean, that all starts to appear, you know?
Yeah, obviously recognizing the power, believing in that, but also most importantly, knowing exactly what you want to achieve is the key thing for his success. I think he was quite decisive on that one. He must have been, anyway.
I think he had a calling, calling that far back ago to try to, shift human consciousness, to create a world that was more unified and dignified.
What Cyrus did was unprecedented, and it has not been repeated ever. So to that extent, I think he is the only one that deserves the word great. Many conquerors throughout the history have falsely, for the quantity of their success, have been called great, but they never had quality of success that Cyrus had.
And if we are to take Kourosh the Great as an example, then we will have big shoes to try to fit into, and I think that is a perfect start for bringing in Kourosh's greatness into your own life.